And yo, welcome down to Conty Chat. The name is Brendan Lepol. My goodness, it's been like 10,001 years since I went on air live and to meet you guys, right? But anyways, once again, thank you so much for actually tuning in and for actually chilling with us. But before we move on to today's topic, right, let me just tell you that we are on social as well. We're on Sockbats. Everyone's on Sockbats, right? Facebook, YouTube, ContyNews is where you need to navigate yourself to. And also, we are on TikTok, Instagram. Just look for us at Conty Chat. And did I tell you that we are also on Spotify? Yes, our previous episodes are also on Spotify. So please don't forget to navigate yourself there and search for Conty Chat. Now, on today's show, it's going to be very interesting because we're talking about women empowerment. Now, people in a skirt theory, have you actually heard about that? Honestly, if you ask me, the answer is no. Okay, well, it depicts women bosses as being more aggressive and resolute because of their resolve and the need to actually stay on top. Sounds pretty much like me. But anyways, some of these female leaders believe that by taking up this persona, right, they tend to actually gain more respect from their colleagues and co-workers, so on and so forth. Well, question is, how much is this true? So we brought our guests, of course, in the studio together with us. Well, first and foremost, we've got Dr. Tengku Naufal. We're going to call him Dr. TN, who is a gender in development consultant, and also he is a recipient of the Respect the Woman Award during the National Women's Day 2013. Welcome to the show, Dr. TN.
Thank you, Brendan. I'm honored to be here and very happy to be with all of you guys.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Lots of questions for the both of you. And of course, moving forward, our second guest, we've got Nuon Zainal, who is a co-founder of Durio Plus and also a leading children's Islamic content streaming website, who is also the maker of the animated TV show Omar and Hana.
Yeah,
welcome.
I love Omar and Hana actually.
Okay, you know what?
So much,
you gotta give me like access to Omar and Hana if that's okay. But anyways, women empowerment. I mean, it's our favorite topic, right?
Right.
So we keep talking about this over and over and over again. Why is there a need to talk about this over and over again, Dr. Tian?
First and foremost, women in Malaysia comprises of about half of the population.
Right.
This is one of the facts that we need to be aware of. Yeah. From 100%, 49% women, 51% do not subscribe to the idea that now in Malaysia women are more than men. Because some of us keep on, harping and saying that, and this is the justification of men to have more than one, with due respect, yeah?
Okay.
Again, not to talk about this very interesting and yet very sensitive polygamous marriage issue, but in general, women comprises of 49% and 51% guys.
Right.
From that 100% Malaysian population, we have about 33 million, 47% are women as the workforce.
Right.
So just imagine, I just want to ask you one question.
Okay.
Out of the 47%, let's say half of them strike tomorrow. What will happen to the Malaysian economy, Brandon?
Oh.
Collapse, isn't it? There you are. That's the reason why women empowerment is the in thing now. We cannot not to talk about it.
Right. Nuon, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, I believe in successful organization, big and small. We have to have a equal.
Yep.
It's hard to get the 50-50 equal, but it's trying as much as we can to get,
We're going to talk about
many
whether the country in Malaysia or maybe even the world
Yep.
are doing enough to actually, achieve this. But first and foremost, let's talk about being a leader, women bosses.
Right.
Now, regardless of their gender, actually, you're already smiling, and yet female bosses, right, they get scrutinized more than the men. So why do you think this is actually a thing, Nuon?
Well, I think I don't know how to actually answer this question honestly, but I think that women they are always being I would say being judged on their looks, their opinions,
Right.
even how they make mistakes or something like that. So I think woman has to step up, and sometimes when you step up and then
Prove themselves.
better.
I think they've been doing that, right?
They
To
have
be
been.
fair,
Yeah, to
they've
be
been
fair.
actually doing that. But
Yeah.
honestly, since we're talking about this, I have to say this. We still have this thing in which whereby families out there, I'm not talking majority, I'm talking like not as a whole as well, but we still have this thinking in which whereby women, they belong to the kitchen, in the kitchen only. That's it.
This is one of the interesting aspects of when we talk about gender in development. Yeah, the gender perception issue, which has been perceived as, women should not be in front, women should be in the kitchen, the man should be the leader at home as well as in the office. Guys are better leaders in politics. Women should not be more exposed. And the general bias perception, women are too emotional. They are less rational. And of course, the common one, men are the breadwinner, women are only purely caretaker. But actually, the current world, we are moving towards a better world whereby both women can be a breadwinner, men can be a caretaker, women can be caretaker, men can also be a breadwinner. So these are the things that, to me, the question that you were asking, why women are being scrutinized far more harshly than men, I think it stems from the traditional way of how actually not Malays, not Malaysian, actually the world. The world is looking at the women's position, women's role, whether at home or in the social spheres or social sector.
So who do you think is scrutinizing this whole situation? Do you think the men or the women? Or do you think it's both?
Could be both, because gender bias perception can be, people blame the man mostly, but I think no one will agree with me. Some women also have this gender bias perception towards themselves. Women should not. Women should be less. Women should stay at the back. It is this from the women themselves. This is the reason why Conty Chat, we want to chat about this seriously and openly.
Now let's talk about this. Okay, let's chat about this because the research has been done. The Queen Bee syndrome.
Oh God.
A research done by the University of Michigan said women who thrived in male-dominated workplaces are most likely to oppose the rise of other women. Wow, I think this is like some jealousy thing that's going on here, right? So in your opinion, do you agree with this research? Go on.
Well, I mean, there's a research that there's a science behind it, so I'm not denying it. But I think that to be truth, men also is actually have that that feeling, that syndrome. I would say that.
King
so.
Bee.
Correct. So to be put only for women, I think is not right. I'm not sure when the research being done previously, but I think that for me lah, I mean, I'm at the management of my company, so I think that it can be managed. I think like Dr. Tian said, that is history. Nowadays is different, but as long as you're aware about this thing can happen, I mean, this thing can happen, you need to manage maybe your policy.
Dr. Tian, do you think there should be a King Bee syndrome?
The research was done in 1973, Nuon. 73 by Michigan University, whereby the psychologists decided through the research, as you said, scientifically done, that this Queen Bee syndrome is the syndrome happening among women on top. But again, they quoted quite recent after Margaret Thatcher, the first female prime minister of the kingdom. They showed that Margaret Thatcher did not appoint any women to be on her cabinet, and they make reference that Margaret Thatcher is a typical Queen Bee syndrome issues happening to her. But again, I read last night. There was another research in 2019, quite recent, denying that Queen Bee syndrome, done in Utrecht University of Netherlands and Geneva University. The reason being, this is very interesting, Nuon and Brandon, sorry. The reason why the QBS, they call it, Queen Bee syndrome, happens to women is because of the system that marginalizing women, allowing women to have small quotas of position, and at the end of the day, they felt this value threat to themselves, and because of that, they reacted like what we call the Queen Bee syndrome. So to me, I beg to differ that this QBS, Queen Bee syndrome, is actually an outcome of a system that marginalizes women. So again, this is another problem in women empowerment issue. I think that is one of the reasons why you're asking us that question. So what we need to do, correct the system. Give more power to the women, more rights for women to climb up the ladder. So the issue of glass ceiling, sticky floors should not be there.
Yes, correct.
It's interrelated, Queen Bee syndrome and sticky floors and glass ceiling issue.
Because at the end of the day, we have jobs out there that are supposedly for men and women are picking up. For example, piloting, so on and so forth. And also chefs.
Correct.
When you tell women that they belong in the kitchen,
Correct.
and then some of the finest chefs out there, most of them are men, right?
But do you know that in the society, I heard this, people talking about if woman is a pilot, wait until the flight will be crashed to doom. Can you imagine that kind of perception is being given and uttered by people in our culture? But bear in mind, all the flight crash and whatnot, the pilots are all men.
Oh.
But they never want to talk about it. Yeah, do you realize about it?
Right.
Yeah, it happens,
Okay, so see, we are diving in deep right here on Conty Chat. Of course, that's what we do all the time, and we want to hear your opinion and comments as well. So hit us up on our social at ContyNews and Conty Chat once again on TikTok and also on Facebook and YouTube, which is ContyNews. So here's a very wonderful question, but of course we're going for a quick break, and when we come back, women are more hormonal than men. Okay, we'll come back right here on Conty Chat.
Patah hati itu bukan sifatku, jadi kacau juga bukan diriku. Ditinggalkan kamu, aku sendiri. Jangan anggap aku jadi tak happy. Don't cry bila tersakiti. Aku tak peduli walaupun kau pergi. Move on walau ku sendiri. Aku tak peduli. I'm single and perfectly happy. Kau punya pasangan lainnya, ku tak peduli. Sentiasa ada temanku berbagi, tercanda tertawa, ceria bersama. Don't cry bila tersakiti. Aku tak peduli walaupun kau pergi. Move on walau ku sendiri. Aku tak peduli. I'm single and perfectly happy. Namun di suatu hari nanti ku temukan pasangan yang serasi indah, setia, abadi selamanya. Don't cry bila tersakiti. Aku tak peduli walaupun kau pergi. Move on walau ku sendiri. Aku tak peduli. I'm single and perfectly. Don't cry bila tersakiti. Aku tak peduli walaupun kau pergi. Move on walau ku sendiri. Aku tak peduli. I'm single and perfectly happy. 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 I'm single and perfectly happy.
Thank you so much for joining us right here at Conty Chat once again. And today we're talking about women empowerment. The very wonderful episode right here, 2022 on Conty Chat. And of course, things are definitely heating up. Together with our guests in the studio once again, we got Dr. Tengku Naufal. We're going to call him Dr. Tien, and also Nuon Zainal. And let's talk about hormonal change or imbalance or so on and so forth. Of course, Dr. Tien, yes, you're smiling at me, but I'm going to ask Nuon first.
Let no one respond to that.
Women are more hormonal than men, hence the mood swings and less patience lah. That's what they say. So do you agree with this statement, and how so?
Yeah, God create us special because I have a lot of hormones.
Yeah.
But to be honest, when you express less passions or maybe harsh or something like that, it's not only women, alright? Men also can do that. It depends on your personality. You stress, you depressed, what happened, trauma that you carry on for many years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so yes or no lah for me.
Yes or no,
But
ah?
I on my side, I have to be fair that I experience a lot.
Okay.
So I actually see that both laki pun sama, and then the ladies pun sama juga.
Correct.
So I think it's the person itself. I mean, to put the statement to the woman, I think it's not.
It's not fair, huh?
It's not
Yeah, many
it's not true as
men
well.
are
Yeah.
extremely
Kan, Doctor?
impatient, extremely emotional, as
Yeah.
I told you earlier.
Correct.
Many of these men bosses simply find ways to throw
Correct.
things at their staff,
Yeah.
and the perception of the people within the organization says it's okay because they are men.
Ah,
But
wow.
the moment women did that, she must be having period whatsoever, PMS and whatnot.
Yeah,
With due
yeah,
respect,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, Numon. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
it's
echo
true.
Nuon's view. Yes and no, as what she said. God created woman beautifully, uniquely, with more hormones in the body, and there were times in a month that they're gonna
Yeah.
feel a bit down. But bear in mind, many women manage it well. Their anger management, their depression, their stress level, their control, and that is the reason mortality rate in Malaysia, women live longer than men.
Yeah, some or other, because at the end of it, they're stronger. I would say that. They are
Exactly,
stronger,
but
yeah.
at the same time, the pressure is much more given and burden on them.
Right.
But yet they manage it well. But again, to me, it's all about gender bias perception.
Yes,
So
yes,
you
yes.
just justify it by saying that, oh, there are hormonal issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
Men with less hormones also cannot control their anger.
For me, Dr. Tien, it's
Yeah.
a psychological thing.
Exactly.
It's not
Yeah,
whether
I do
you're,
agree with you,
women have
Brandon.
more hormones. Okay, wow,
Yeah.
so they tend to be like Wolverine all the time. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think this is not fair to us women out there, and to actually tell them that, oh, because of hormonal imbalance, that's why you're actually more feisty this time around.
That is the reason why we would like to encourage people out there to understand. Let's teach our younger generations the right way of how we should respect each other.
Yeah, exactly.
It stems back from the way we are being brought up.
Right.
This is what we call socialization process
Right.
that create our gender perception towards
Right.
the roles, what we call this, men and women in the society at home and whatnot. Please, mothers, fathers, please play better role. By listening to Conty Chat and whatnot, we have the role to ensure that we groom a better society in the future. So that do not allow these kids to justify them by saying that, oh, women because of PMS, period
Yeah.
pain, that's the reason why they are not a
Yeah.
better leader and
Yeah.
whatnot. These are what we call gender bias perception that we created from home, the way we brought them up.
Now, see, Dr. Tien, you just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And Nuon, you can have we can have some point of views from you so as well. Let's talk about single parents out there. When they don't have a male figure in the family, or probably don't have a female figure in the family. So how do we bridge that gap in that sense? And
Exactly.
Also, to all those orphanages out there,
Right.
it's going to be very difficult to actually help them to be guided properly and to
yeah.
not have this kind of thinking. So,
Correct.
what do you think, Doctor?
To me, the society, of course, when we talk about orphanage, they have orphanage home, they have foster parents and whatnot. How do we impart the values?
Yeah.
The knowledge and the knowledge, how we should be looking at the roles of God's creation of women versus man. It is not to compete, it is to complement.
I like that.
That is important.
Yeah.
We are here to complement and be the vicegerent of God on this earth. Otherwise, the vicegerency will never be completed without the role of women assisting men and vice versa. So I think it goes back to how we educate them. Not only the parent as well, you said sometimes, but again, single parent, some mom.
Yeah.
You say that, oh, without men, they can never proceed and can never lead the... Hello, I have met and I've, counseled single mother who brought up 7 kids and all of them are all successful kids.
So now, Nuon, let's get some point of views from you so as well. Compared to 10 years ago, do you feel that the women's workforce has impacted the industry? How far, and how? What do you think about this, and how so?
I think yes, we can see that obviously obviously that we have a lot of women leaders in the countries that they do have voice. I mean, their voice is powerful as well. They can make right decisions, yeah, doctor?
Yes.
And yeah, it's I think it make a good growth to the company and also to Malaysia. Definitely, yeah.
Nuon is a solid example of a women entrepreneur. Yeah, 10 years ago, you can hardly find a lady as strong as Nuon. You agree with me? You took the leading role. You took the challenge. Yeah.
I think I'm from the people and culture in the company as well. So to set up the culture in the company and then to make people to believe in you, what you values that you should have for every team in my company, our company, is actually, I think it's hard, but it takes a process lah. Yeah, it's
And you did it.
easy.
You did it.
Alhamdulillah. I give credit to my team as well because they are very.
Omar and Hana is now in ASEAN already, right? In Indonesia?
Omar Hana is go globally.
Global, right?
Globally,
There
yeah.
you are.
Yeah. We
sorry.
only have 5%. If according to data, 5% of Malaysia, the rest is actually global.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. You see? This is an example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's an example. So you all have been actually going very far in life. Yeah.
Correct. For me, I would like to just she has the justification to talk about a woman in entrepreneur.
Correct.
Very much. Yeah, as you said, 10 years ago, women workforce has been impacted on Malaysian economy and whatnot very, very much. Yeah, accountants, more than 54%. Don't be surprised. Are women. You know. So if you have 100, 54 from the 100 are women.
Because they take care of the finances at home.
That's it. Don't be surprised. Dentist. Hello, you have a very good teeth.
Dentist.
70%. It was few years ago. It was 69. I believe it's more than 70. Medical doctors. Again, more than 50. 54%. Don't be surprised. Male-dominated quantity surveyors. Not much, but again, it has reached the threshold of 30%. I checked yesterday, it is 34% quantity surveyors. My profession, lawyers, we have 55% women. Architect, again, another, could be male dominant. 38%. Professional engineers, women are only about less than 10%, but graduate engineers, don't be surprised, reaching 30%.
Yeah, correct.
So, you want to say women is not playing the role in the economy, in the industry? You want to deny women's position, women's role in the
Ability
society?
and capability as well.
That's right. Yeah. So this is the real hard fact data that you can just Google and find all of this. But again, there are much to be done.
Right,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
We'll talk about that later if we have time, yeah?
Yeah.
And of course, Parliament has been dissolved
Oh, God.
by Prime Minister.
Don't talk- you want to talk about politics, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Sultan Abdullah. Right, so right now, let's talk about politics just a little bit, if we may, yeah? With
Okay.
the dissolution of Parliament, all eyes are definitely on G15, right?
Right.
So, let's talk about women's political participation in the country. Yes. I look at Dr. Tien, he's like, don't get me started here.
Don't spark. Okay, but I mean, let's talk
Wait.
professionally.
Wait, Dr. Tien, let's ask Nuon
I
first.
think Nuon first,
What do you
Nuon
think
first.
about it, Nuon? We should see more women, right?
I think yes, definitely. Women should be heard, and the voice should be, take into actions. But you need to see that the capability of the woman itself. I mean, if you put the wrong people on the wrong bus,
Yeah.
on the wrong seat,
Doesn't matter you're a guy or a girl, you're still going to crumble and fall.
Correct.
Right.
So I mean, for the woman, you have to have that the
But are you-
criteria.
Are you happy with the woman participation in politics now?
Well,
As a woman,
wow.
as a lady.
I'm not following politics so much, so it's hard to answer that question.
Yeah, but actually, you will hear just some of them were actually voicing up,
Correct,
right? So,
correct.
which means to
Yeah.
say we had that small percentage amount
Not
of
many.
Not
women
many,
as compared
yeah.
to men.
Yeah.
Dr. Tien, yes.
Every year, World Economic Forum issued what we call Global Gender Gap Report.
Right.
Every year, normally
Okay.
March they will issue. Yeah. Don't be surprised, Malaysia was ranked 103 from 146 countries this year, 2022. And we are, sadly to say, number 8 from 10 ASEAN nations. We are just slightly above Brunei and Myanmar. Very sad. There are 4 determinant factors to determine the country's ranking. Number 1, educational attainment. Talking about women and education, we are quite okay. Yeah, women in the IPTAs, the public universities, we are quite okay. 60+% women. Yeah, economic participation. Yeah, the examples here, we are okay there. Yeah, health, we are quite excellent. Health and survival for the women. Mortality rate and whatnot, we are okay. But the lowest is the 4th indicator, political empowerment for women, and that make Malaysia drop every year below 100. We reached only once upon a time in the year of 2008, if I'm not mistaken, above 100. That was 70 plus, merely because we put slightly more women senators at Dewan Negara. That was the reason. So,
see.
yeah, we were the lowest as far as political empowerment is concerned. So, in response to your query, I hope the political leaders are listening to Conty Chat now, and now is the time for them to rethink to put slightly more women as the candidate for the upcoming PRU 15. I really hope that will really
I think
happen.
we as Malaysians, we want to see more women out there as well.
And we have
Right.
many capable women, basically. Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question. Last week, the leaders from various political parties reiterated their commitment to achieving the target of fielding 30 women.
30%.
That's 30% of women
30%, yeah.
candidates in election. In turn, increasing female representation in the country's legislative bodies. Do you think it's enough? Do you think it's fair? A very,
30%.
very, very short answer. Yeah, very, very short answer.
Well, I think it can be better.
Okay.
It can be better. Yeah.
Without the 30%, we won't go anywhere. Because some
Correct.
of the women leaders say that, why are you putting quotas? I have some agreement and disagreement. Yeah, we started this 30% club in 2004 for the public sectors, 2011 for the private sectors. But today, parliamentarian, have we reached 30%? 14% before it was dissolved yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, 14%. Yeah, and women on top, public sector, sometimes yes, 30%, 35%, but drop to 22, 27, never being sustained. So, if you were to ask me, is it fair? Is it okay? I would say we must start from some threshold benchmark.
Right.
30% is a good one,
Yeah.
good number.
Okay, so which means, of course, the answer is we can do better.
We
So,
can do
anyways, thank you so much. Looks like we have ran out of time.
We are done.
Yeah, we're done.
I
That's
am
it.
eager to talk much
I just
more about
started the fire there,
Okay.
didn't I?
Thank you so
Anyway,
much.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you
Tengku
so much.
Naufal.
Thank you,
once
Brandon.
Again,
Yeah,
who is
thank
a
you,
gender
Brandon.
in development consultant, and also Nuwan Zainal, who is co-founder of Durio Plus. Anyways, guys, if you want to watch this episode on the rerun, don't forget to actually check us out. Once again, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. Just look for us on Conty Chat, and also Facebook and YouTube at ContyNews. Till then, I'm Brandon Paul. Join us next time right here on Conty Chat. Till then, take care and bye-bye.